Capital markets, you touched upon it briefly. What are we seeing in terms of sales volume? A lot of new foreign capital we know is now looking at industrial very differently in a positive light than they had historically. Several large M&A deals we can point to in that regard. We're also seeing some of the net lease REITs that previously had stuck to retail in particular are now expanding to look at industrial because of its net lease characteristics. What are you seeing in terms of sales volumes, capital flows in the industrial space?
I think the capital market side of industrial is exceptionally strong. And the reasons I've described earlier, the fundamentals are excellent all across the board. And people are feeling and seeing and understand why there'll be rent growth and really lease appreciation growth. The demand, both domestically and internationally, is tremendous. And it's my opinion, the flow of capital is the single most important reason why you're seeing such big price increases and cap rate compression and seeing those trends continuing. There is definitely a shortage of supply, and there's an excess demand of both foreign and domestic capital trying to get into these markets. So it's my opinion that you will see pricing move up, cap rates move down, and you'll see that trend continue.
One of the things that everybody talks about is interest rates going up, and we certainly expect them to go up, maybe first quarter of next year, maybe sooner, maybe a little later. But given the excess capital flow of equity capital, even in the face of somewhat rising interest rates, you still believe we'll see some additional cap rate compression?
I do. I just think it's, in my opinion, I would study the flow of capital, how much money's coming in, and I think that's driving pricing. For the foreign investments coming in, we're a bargain. Looking at the other alternatives and risk factors, we have a lot of good things coming for us. And so I don't see that affecting pricing. I expect that trend to continue. And unless something happens internationally, something that we're not aware of at this point, if you look at the straight fundamentals, I think our path is fairly well set for the next couple of years.
Well, we certainly have taken a hard look at what those risks might be. Very hard to underwrite. One of those geopolitical events, maybe there's softness in the stock market, maybe there's softness elsewhere, but it's hard to predict. But the bottom line is that from a fundamental and capital flow perspective, industrial is looking great, certainly for the indefinite future. So on behalf of CBRE Research and my good friend and colleague Kurt Strassman, we want to thank you for listening in today. And as always, we encourage you to reach out to Kurt, to me, or any of the leaders of research or industrial with any follow-up questions. Thank you very much.